You can have everything in life that you want if you help enough people get what they want. Welcome to my epic journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. Here we are on the journey from 600 to 0 to 600 plus and everything that falls in between. I know you've all heard that quote before. We'll get back to that in a second, by Zig Ziglar. I probably butchered it a little bit, but that's basically that's the point. You can get what you want in life if you help enough people get what they want in life. And I do believe in that, and we will get back here to give you some actual numbers on that in just a moment. But just checking in back after the weekend, I have again. Summer's tough. Summer was a tough choice to start documenting this journey because I guess even in the absence of the episodes, kind of shows what the journey is. Because my dad and my nephew come down tomorrow. They'll be here for another week, and then I'll be out of town in a couple weeks, and then 3 weekends in a row I will be out of town. So away from just having things going on. So it can get a little bit tough. But back to what I was saying about helping people get what they want and things like that. One of the things that I had mentioned a while back and discussed that, if you're looking at like trying to get to that 600, trying to get to 600 agents in my downline, back to where I was when I was with the XP. If you look at that number as a whole, like the overall number, like, man, that's a big number. Like, especially if you want to say, let's say double it. Let's say you get to 1,200 agents. It's a lot, right? Like you're thinking, I got to talk to, 1,100 more agents and get them over. Like that's a big deal. And I had mentioned helping other agents get to that level. So, or help them grow, and then you can help yourself grow. And so, we've also talked about duplication and how that helps. Like if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter. We've talked about that, and back to building an empire. But one of the things is that if we're going, like, how do you duplicate? How do you help other people do what you do? So that I've been on the kind of this mission to not only like have the ability for people and agents to leverage my story, all that stuff, and to grow faster. I'm actually in the process of building something to where I can actually help these agents that want to grow and have them have a plan in place, right? To not just be like, oh, hey, just go do this. It's very similar to, because we're having this conversation today after we're taking this Facebook training, this social media training right now that we're doing in the office. It's very difficult. Like when you cold call, I know there's mojo dialers and all this stuff like that, but when you go post something on Facebook, it can be replicated, and it's one-to-many communication where I think we get stuck. Like cold calling and door knocking is one-to-one communication. Not saying it doesn't work. We've had this conversation before. It can work, right? Is it as efficient as having a strong like Facebook or content strategy? I don't believe so. Because I think you can get through a lot of people a lot faster. Same thing with cold calling and just making single calls. So if I'm really good on the phone, it's tough for somebody to replicate that. It's going to take a lot of work to be able to replicate that. I mean, you can be taught the strategies, the scripts, all this stuff. You can replicate it to a point, but it's more of a learned. You really have to learn how to do it and be good on the phone. And most people don't really enjoy doing that. But in social media, if I can say, hey, create a post like this, you can make that post, and it's not going, that post tells the same story every single time if you keep sharing that post. So when I think of something duplicatable, I don't think of something that is like, hey, just go and say, call an agent and say this to them, right? Say that to them, because it's different and change every single time. But if I could create something that if an agent is asking for more information, you don't have to recreate it. It's something that you can deliver. So that's something that I've been focusing on, and my goal right now is once this is completed, I'm going to go find 20 agents. I already have some in mind. 20 agents that are in my downline that are interested in utilizing these tools and that want to grow their organization as well. Because keep in mind, even though I'm very focused on agent attraction and recruiting and growing my downline, my rev share organization, whatever, even though I'm very focused on that, that's not all I talk about, with agents, that's not all the agents are interested in, right? There's a lot of agents out there. I believe the last quote was like 12% of agents are really actually into agent attraction. And rightfully so. I didn't get into real estate to go attract agents. That's just something that my career has evolved into. And that's why I want to do that. So now I have 20 agents that I'm looking for. I've already identified a couple. So I have probably maybe 14, 15 spots left. But I'm going to find 15 more agents that are interested in doing this. And once this is completed, I can go ahead and give it to them. They can recreate. It's actually, they aren't even recreating anything because I'm going to recreate it for them. Put it in their hands and say, hey, here's this tool. It's not going to magic. It's like not going to magically be like a massive recruiting. They're just going to like start it and then just crush it right away, right? It's still going to take time. It's still going to take some energy and work on their part. But the heavy lifting will be taken off of them. So I don't have to go. The very same reason why I want people to, especially my downline, to do video is because I want them to do video. So I can't make it that hard to do, right? I can't go, hey, this is going to cost you $2,500 to get started on this, to do this. If I want them to do that, I have to make it the least resistance for them to have that success, because their success comes back to being my success, right? Obviously, if they're landing within dollar for dollar, right? Like if they're landing within my 5 levels. If they land beyond that, I still find value in that. It's just harder to quantify because you can't see the metric that those levels 6 and beyond are holding for your levels 1 through 5. But I just want to put that disclaimer out there, so I'm not being corrected that, yeah, but if these people get this, then they might land on your level 6 and they don't count. So we're just going to assume for this exercise that every agent will land within my first 5 levels, just so we can make it, just so I can get the point across, right? Some of them may or may not. For the most part, they all will, based on where I'm selecting these agents from. So once they have this product or platform that I'm working on now, they will have the ability to go and the goal is to take 20 agents to get 12 agents over the next 12 months. So essentially arming them with the tools that they can get 12 agents the next 12 months. So an average of 1 a month. That's not crazy amount. That's not it's not a crazy amount. It's not also an unbearable amount for someone that's just going to add this to what they're already doing in their business. I'm not trying to turn all these people into recruiters, and that's all they're going to do. They will just be, hey, you're interested in doing this. Let's work out this plan, and we'll get you on this platform and this system to get you to get these agents out. So with that being said, with that system, again, disclaimer, it's not built yet. I'm currently building it, but I have changed my focus into this area of, instead of me trying to figure out how many agents can I bring on, it's going to be, how can I get these agents? How can I focus on these agents? So instead of me focusing on, like, this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but instead of focusing on 240 agents, how can I get another 240 agents into my business? I'm going to focus on 20 agents. How can I help these 20 agents add 1 agent a month for the next 12 months? And then the ultimate goal on top of that is, how can I help these agents get, in addition to how can I help these agents get 1 agent a month over the next 12 months, how can I teach them to do that same thing in 12 months to their own 20 people? So math on this, right? So if I'm focusing on myself and only on myself, it's going to be very difficult for me to have massive growth. As I'm hoping agents are leveraging me in my story and things like that, things that I can help bring to the table. As I'm hoping that they're doing that, also, I will be leveraging them as well, because now I have, instead of me just going out, now I have a group of people that are replicating exactly what I'm doing in order to get that 12 agents. So 12 agents in 12 months. So I'm on to month 13 now, sitting at 95 agents. So I've eclipsed that 1 agent a month platform. So I know it can be done. And to help them do the same, I mean, I would love for all of them to be sitting at the same spot that I am right now, but realistically, and also a couple different reasons, and it doesn't mean that they're limited to getting 1 a month, but listen to these numbers, are kind of crazy. So if I focus on 20 agents and say, hey, you 20, This is what we're working on. This is how we're gonna progress. If I can help those 20 agents get 12 agents over the next year, 12 more agents, not just 12 total, 12 additional agents, that would be an additional 240 agents to my downline by not focusing on myself, but by focusing on those 20 people. Now, on top of that, if those 20 agents can now teach those 12 exactly what they did in the same way, and they can use a duplicatable system and do that same thing, by the end of year 2, you would have 240 agents adding 12 more agents, right? So that would go to 2880. So that would put you over 3,020? That put you over 3,000 agents in 2 years. I understand it's not that easy. It's not going to be that easy. But what I'm saying is that even if you did half of that, would it be worth it? Would it be worth focusing on 20 agents and teaching them how to do it? So just trying to change the thought process of like, how can I get more agents? How can I get more agents? Now my mind is thinking, how can I get 20 people more agents? Not all 95. Not all 95 are interested in it, right? But are there 20 agents? And maybe I don't get a full 20. Maybe 20 are already sitting in my organization right now. Maybe less than that, because to be quite honest, at about 12%, there's going to be about 12 agents. That would leave 8 spots that I would need to fill. Now, do I either just drop it down and just say, hey, we're going to go to these 12 and help these 12 get 12? I'm fine with that too. 100% fine with that. I mean, even if you have those 12 get 12, you're at 144. I'd be down with helping grow my organization by 100, doubling it just with those 12 people, because I was able to help them. But maybe it's someone who isn't here yet, who I haven't been introduced to yet. Like I said, I already have, before I even approach everybody else, I have like 5 or 6 right now that I've already spoken to about it, and they're in and they want to do it. Again, I'm hoping to be done by next month for the first rollout of it, and then go on from there. But I'm not making any promises, because it will take time to get what I have in mind for agents to start using and leveraging, and hopefully they get their agents. Because even at that 12, two reasons why I went with 12 agents, it's doable, but also where it breaks out, a lot of the places or a lot of the markets that we're in, that would be, if you averaged, your average would be right around $500. I would say between $500 and $750, what you'd make per agent. So that would be roughly around, we'll just say around an extra $6,000, which in a lot of markets after splits and things like that, $6,000 would be a pretty accurate number for an additional sale for the year. So if you wanted to do an additional sale without selling another home, this is an option that you would have. So, all right, just wanted to share that with you, that I kind of had this mindset shift where I've known it for a while, but it really hit me over the weekend, and actually on my walk today, when I was like, if you help 20 people get 12, I mean, that would benefit them big time, and then you would be rewarded by not focusing. Like for me right now, thinking about adding another 240 agents, with like me trying to focus just on what I'm getting, it's way more difficult and way less fun, right? Like I would love to have like an end of the year party with these 20 agents that all did this thing, and make the agent attraction should be fun, right? You're adding agents, and you're doing it as a group. I think that's fun. It's fun for me, and you get to celebrate each other. So that's kind of where I'm at. And that's what I'll be focusing on, and I'll give you some updates over the next few weeks as things are being built. I'm doing it on my own at the moment, but I already know that my DIY habits will end up in how much I like the DIY stuff. I know it also like limits me on things too, so I have to figure out if I'm going to have somebody build it out for me, or with me, or if I'm just going to build it out myself and then try to run with that. Honestly, a couple things. It comes down to how much is it going to cost, and how functional will it be if I completely outsource it? Like how far will my vision get away from me if I let somebody else do it? So that's leave you with that. You know what it is? Go help somebody out, right? Go help somebody get what they want. You're going to get what you want in return, right? And this is like the easiest like quantification that I can think of right here to explain what it is that I'm trying to do. So, all right, you guys have a great one, and I will see you on the next one.